Hello, everybody. Hello. Yes. How are you? Well, they have to say that. I have a great relationship with the Mexican people. Many of them work for me. They buy my apartments. But if I'm running Mexico, I'm saying the same thing because I have to. Because what they're doing to the United States is unbelievable, both at trade and in the border. You know, Nabisco just announced that they're leaving Chicago. They're moving to Mexico, Nabisco. So if I were involved with Mexico at a high level or the head of Mexico, I would be saying the same thing. Look, we have to straighten out our country. Our country's a mess. And whether it's China or Mexico or Japan, we have to straighten out our country. I'd be saying the same thing, yes.
Yes or no, do you think the American-born children of undocumented immigrants should be deported?
Here's the story. Very simple.
Yes or no?
I don't give yes or no. It's not that easy. You know, for you it's easy. Let me tell you, not that easy. It's a horrible situation that we've placed ourselves in. We have thousands and thousands of illegal immigrants in our country, not only taking jobs, but many of them are causing problems beyond belief. And you see that all over. We have to straighten out the problem with illegal immigration. It starts with getting the bad ones. You know, the gangs in, you saw it, the gangs in Baltimore. You know that, right? Did you see the people? You have illegal immigrants in many cases. In Chicago, illegal immigrants. The bad ones are getting out fast. Day one. If I win, day one of my presidency, they're getting out. We're getting them out, and we're getting them out fast. Over a period of time, we're going to work on numerous things. The first thing is building a wall, which Mexico will pay for. Okay? We're going to build it. I know how to do it. It's going to be a real wall, not a toy wall like we have right now that's 10 feet tall, and it's a fence. We're going to have a real wall. And people are going to come into our country, and I want people to come in. I want people of great talent to come in. But I want a lot of people to come in. They have to come in legally. They've got to come in. If we don't have them come in legally, we don't have a country. We don't have borders. We don't have a country. They have to come in legally. I want them to come in. They have to come in legally. All right, go ahead, David.
Here's what I don't get about the immigration proposal. You want to build a giant wall, and if you build a giant wall, why worry about birthright citizenship? If you're going to keep illegal immigrants out, why attack?
There's a very big question as to the anchor babies. They've been talking about it for years. There's a very big question as to whether or not the 14th Amendment actually covers this. We're going to find out whether or not it does. Changing the 14th Amendment would take years and years, the long, drawn-out process. A lot of people think that it is absolutely, in terms of anchor babies, that it is not covered. So we're going to find out. But look, here's the story. Here's what happens. Wait a minute. Wait. Here's what's happening. A woman is going to have a baby. They wait on the border. Just before the baby, they come over to the border. They have the baby in the United States. We now take care of that baby, Social Security, Medicare, education. Give me a break. It doesn't work that way. The parents have to come in legally. Now, we're going to have to find out what's going to happen from a court standpoint. But many people, many of the great scholars, say that anchor babies are not covered. We're going to find out. Yes. Yes. Well, I think large portions can be. I am not a Common Core person. Jeb Bush wants Common Core. I want local education. And I think large groups and large portions can be shut down. Absolutely. I have no question about that. You look at the Department of Education. They've done such a poor job. We're number 25 or 26 or 28 or 32, depending on which you look at, in the world. We spend, one thing we're number one at, and that's a definite number one. We spend more money per student than any country anywhere in the world. And we're way above number 25 in the world. So we are terrible at education, but we spend far more money than anybody else. The Department of Education has done a terrible job. I happen to be a person that does not believe in Common Core. I believe the people of New Hampshire locally should work mostly on the education. Do we allow little pieces? Yes. But largely, it should be shut down. And I'm very surprised to hear that other of the candidates don't want it touched, because that really does surprise me. Say it again. Have I gotten under Jeb Bush's skin? I don't know. I will tell you this. You mentioned the word skin. He said the other day, one of the dumber things I've heard ever in politics, when talking about Iraq, that we, the United States, he said, have to show them that we have skin in the game in order to go into Iraq. We've lost $2 trillion, thousands of lives, wounded warriors who I love all over the place. And he's talking about we have to show them that we have skin in the game. And every time a shot is fired, they run, because there practically is no Iraq. And Iraq, whatever that is being taken over by Iran after us spending trillions and lives and warriors, wounded warriors. For him to say that we have to show them that we have skin in the game is one of the really dumb statements. I'd say his other dumb statement is an act of love, that they come here for an act of love. And I would say between Common Core, his act of love on immigration, and skin in the game with Iraq, that's the third one that we've now added, I don't see how he's electable. And then on top of that, he talks about women's health issues, and he's against women's health. Now, he then comes back a few hours later and he says he misspoke. But he's bad on women's health issues. Nobody's going to be better on women's health issues than Donald Trump. Yes. No, I don't. No, I don't at all. I don't. I have a much bigger heart than other people, and frankly, than probably any of the candidates that I've heard so far. Excuse me? I don't. Not often. If you want to know the truth, have I failed? Not often. Who was? I don't know anything about death threats for Megyn Kelly. You tell me about that. I haven't heard that. I have no idea about that. In all fairness, I have. Excuse me. Take it easy. I have no idea about death threats for Megyn Kelly. I haven't heard about that. I think that would be a shame, but I haven't heard about that. I will say the people that are following are very passionate. They love this country. They want this country to be great again, and they are very passionate. I will say that. And everybody here has reported it. Yes, go ahead. Oh, go ahead. What do I think about what? I think Heidi Klum is a very nice person. Go ahead. I think it's crazy. I think the whole Iran deal is the dumbest deal that you can imagine. I think it's going to go down as one of the worst deals in the history of this country, maybe of the world. It is a total and complete catastrophe. And, you know, it's beyond even talking about it. So it's hard to believe that people actually, do we have negotiators? Do we have anybody that knows what they're doing? Not only the 24 days, which, by the way, it's much more than that, because the 24 days to start the clock takes a long time. Not only the fact that they still have our prisoners, every single aspect of that deal is incompetent. And it's a deal that shouldn't be approved. And the amazing thing is, even if it's not approved now, they get $150 billion plus, and they're going to use that money for terror all over the world. It is one of the great dumb deals of our time. Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to hear that there are side deals. The White House doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, that's been proven, whether it's Obamacare with a $5 billion website. The White House truly has no clue what they're doing. And the Iran deal is a disaster. It's a disaster. It's going to lead to, in my opinion, nuclear proliferation. It's going to so many things are going to come out of that deal for the bad. And I'll tell you, Israel is in big trouble. Probably something will happen because Israel, I don't know how Israel can live with that deal. Okay. Well, I know nothing about him. I think he's got less than 1% on the poll. And I did see my beautiful building on television. It's just beautiful. Tallest building in Las Vegas. I'm very proud of it. Most beautiful building in Las Vegas. I know he was in front. And as you know, we've won. Let me say a nicer word. We've won with the employees. Let's see what happens. We have employees that love us. They decided not to go union. And that's a great honor as far as I'm concerned. You know, they love me. They love us. Martin O'Malley was there to try and get some publicity, which he desperately needs. And I think he was the one that said that lives don't matter. White lives don't matter. I mean, is he the one that apologized almost in tears because he made a mistake of saying? Is that the same Martin O'Malley that we're talking about? I think he should be ashamed of himself. But I really know that I heard he was in front of one of my buildings to try and get some publicity, and I think it was in Las Vegas. Yes. No, we're not. I have great respect for Ted Cruz, and he's been very supportive of some of my tough stances. And actually, he's done well. And guys like Perry and our senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, who's got zero. How do you get zero? Could you explain to me? How do you get zero? Does that mean that out of thousands of people that are polled, you get none? But he has nothing. The people that attacked me, now Rand Paul is going down the tubes, and he hit me all of a sudden. I mean, he was doing very poorly. He hit me. He went down. One of the great honors is that everybody that attacks me seems to go down. Ted Cruz and Carson, who's been, really terrific. They've been great. A few of the others have been great, meaning we all get along because we should get along. But some of them attack me fairly viciously, and when they attack, you have to attack back. Who? She's a very nice woman. She really is. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, I know James Foley's parents very well. I would defeat ISIS, and I'm okay with what he said. But I would defeat ISIS, absolutely. And I think the whole James Foley thing, as you know, I was up here a year ago making a speech for Joe McQuaid and the group in honor of the Foley family and James Foley, and I got to know his parents very well, made a contribution to the foundation. James Foley was a fantastic young man, and we can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. We have to stop it, and we have to stop it fast. And we have to stop it. We have to stop it now. I've sort of explained that view strongly, and I would cut off big sources of their financing. Go ahead. Both, by the way, both at the bank level and at the oil level. Go ahead. I don't think I'm mean-spirited. We have to get back our country. Look, our country is going down. We have to get back our country. It's based on laws. These are illegal. Now, people like to say undocumented because that's politically correct. I don't say that. These people came in illegally. Some are excellent. They're wonderful, but they have to go out. Now, they can come back in, but they have to come in legally. We can even expedite the process. I think that's fine. I like that. And then you have some really bad ones. The gangs. You got gangs. Roving, hurting people, killing people. You look at what happened to Kate in San Francisco. So we have to be able to get we got bad dudes out there, bad ones. And we'll get them out so fast. Let me tell you, if I'm president, we'll get them out of here so fast your head's going to spin. Yeah, go ahead.
At this point, Donald, you said that you have a big heart and that you're not mean-spirited. Are you aware that the term anchor baby, that's an offensive term? People find that...
You mean it's not politically correct, and yet everybody uses it? So you know what? Give me a different term. Give me a different term. What else would you like to say?
The American-born child with an undocumented immigrant.
Oh, you want me to say that? Okay, I said, no, I'll use the word anchor baby. Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. Go ahead. No, not at all. Oh boy, would I be a smart person, wouldn't I be? He wasn't very wealthy, no. Was he wealthy? He let us down. Mitt Romney let us down. He should have won that election. He failed. He choked. In the end, no different than a golfer that misses a putt on the 18th hole. No different than a man who strikes out a baseball player. He let us down. Mitt Romney should have won that election, and he didn't. Something happened to him. And that's not going to happen to me. I don't know. I can tell you this. He disappeared at the end. He just disappeared. Say what you want about Obama. He was on Jay Leno. He was on Letterman. He was on all the shows. I called up I said, why aren't you doing more television? Why? Obama's on every show. Where are you? He just disappeared. Something happened. Honestly, I think he choked. Okay? I actually saw a doctor. I had a physical the other day, and they said, you are really good. Well, yeah, you can all hear it. Would you like to hear it? I would do that anytime. Yeah, very good. Knock on wood.
To be clear, your father, rest his soul, he reported he died after a long battle of Alzheimer's disease.
He was 88 years old when he developed it, and he died at 94.
Do you have any concerns from that?
No, not whatsoever. No, he was 88. My mother was 88, 89, and she was in amazingly great health. So my father too was in great health. They lived long lives. Yes. Well, I think Jeb Bush is totally out of touch on women's health issues. I mean, totally. Because he basically said he wasn't going to fund it. Now, he came back after his pollster told him, oh, you made a mistake. He came back a few hours later and he said he misspoke. But I'll be very, very strong, very powerful on women's health issues. Yes, go ahead. Who do I see as strongest? You know, changes from the only thing constant is Trump. I mean, all of them change on the bottom. They're going up and down like yo-yos. But I've been up there for a long time, and I hope I'm going to be up there for a long time. You know, I read a lot of the phony reports, a couple of reports today in the paper saying, oh, well, you know, when Donald Trump gets tired of doing this, he's doing great, and he's leading all the polls. But at some point he'll get, I'm not going anywhere, folks. I'm not doing this for my health. I'm doing this to make America great again. And again is a very important word. Very important word. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Got a lot of money. I don't need people funding me like the other candidates. I have people coming up all the time wanting to give me millions of dollars. $5 million last week I turned down from one man. I said, I don't want your money. And I think that resonates with people. I really think it resonates with people.
We have time for one more question, guys. One question.
Excuse me? Well, sanctuary cities, it is a disgrace. What happened in San Francisco and other places, sanctuary cities should be defunded and should be just gotten rid of. Sanctuary cities are a disgrace. Go ahead. We'll talk about that. Go ahead. Well, somebody wrote an article that I was a whiner, that I complained. And I said, you know, he's actually right. I do complain. Because our country is in trouble. We're run by people that either are not smart, perhaps they're incompetent, perhaps they have a bad agenda, which I actually don't believe. I think they're just not very good at what they do. I think they're incompetent. And he said, I'm a whiner, I'm a complainer. And I am, I'm a complainer. And I said, I complain and complain and I whine until I win. and then I win. And I will win for the American people. We're going to have great trade deals. We're going to have a strong military. We're going to take care of our vets. We're going to take care of this country. We're going to get rid of Obamacare and come up with something that will be spectacular, that will be better for people. Look what's happening with the premiums on Obamacare. They're going through. Take a look at what's going on with the premiums. They're going through the roof, up 40%, 45, 50%. We will make our country great again. All right, maybe one more question. I'll give you two more. Say it again. Jeb Bush is a low-energy person. For him to get things done is hard. He's very low energy. Go ahead. Yeah. You know what we spend on illegal immigration right now? We're spending $130 billion a year. So if we can spend a similar amount and not have the problem, it'll be phenomenal. It's a good deal. That's a one-year payback. Not that I'm looking at that, but we do need it. Hey, we are losing as a country on a yearly basis billions and billions beyond anybody. They can't even believe it. You look at our trade deals. You look at what we're talking with illegal immigration. We have to straighten things out, and we will. But, a lot of people are saying that, the plan. Building the wall is something that has to happen. It's not expensive. It won't be expensive. The reason it looks expensive is because you have people working on it that don't know what they're doing. It's not expensive. And that wall will save us. But, the one thing I have to get before we leave, I want people to come into the country. I want them to come in legally. And I want really talented people also to come into the great workers, great talent. I want a lot of people to come into the country. But they have to come in legally. I love that question. What a good guy. Who are you? I love you. This is a great guy. Why can't you ask me a question like that? Look, we are crossing over. It's very interesting. North Carolina just came out. A poll just came out, public policy polling. And I'm leading in North Carolina by a lot. And I'm leading against Hillary Clinton by a lot. A very important place and very important state and a great state. And a lot of things. And they went over the numbers. And so did many of the other polling companies. And I draw from Democrats, and I draw from conservatives and Tea Party. I draw from everybody. And people are a little surprised, straight across the board. But we draw more than anybody else from the Democrats, and that's good. Ultimately, we're going to have to do that if we're going to win. Go ahead, one question. You look so nice. I don't have too many of them. All I have to do is take a look at the poll. You know what? That's changing. Excuse me. Say it legitimately. How much has that changed in the last 3 or 4 weeks? And in New Hampshire, it's so positive. And by the way, Iowa, it's so positive because they've gotten to know me. I've been here a lot, and I've been to Iowa a lot, and South Carolina a lot, where we have incredible numbers. And in the places where I go, my favorability is through the roof, including New Hampshire. Okay, I'm going to have to go. All right, we'll do one from you, but it's always a negative question from. Go ahead. Can you ask a positive question? Let's see if it's possible. Major's question. What? If necessary, I would do that, yes. We have to stop ISIS. I didn't want to do Iraq. It was a big mistake. It should never have happened. The way we got out was also a big mistake. We cannot let ISIS continue to do what they're doing. So if necessary, the answer is yes. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Thank you.